Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Monday, 12th of July, 2021. So now, viewers, those of you that are logged onto Facebook, share our live stream on Facebook. Those of you who haven't subscribed to YouTube as yet, you can do so at TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So, viewers, on Facebook, we keep you up to date with our page. That is Real Talk with Saieed Ali. And I encourage you to like and share our page if you have not done that as yet. For those of you who are looking at us on television, on Synergy Station, we are streaming right around the world. Right around the world. So remember, go in the Facebook account, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali, our page will pop up, just like our page, and you can share it also. And those of you on YouTube, you haven't subscribed us yet, type in TT Real Talk. When it pops up on YouTube, our channel, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, a special good night to those of you of the Caribbean and around the globe. Welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali, Monday, 12th of July. As we start off tonight, just an update. The Sexual Offence Act has been amended in Parliament, creating two registers for convicted sex offenders. One for law enforcement and the other that the public can have access to. Attorney General Faraz Al-Rawi stated that the government has recognized the need to operationalize law to protect the vulnerable in society. Al-Rawi further noted that the amendment also include a clause making it mandatory to register sex offenders who are deported to Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, this is something that we have pushed for and we have gotten through with it. This is just an update. It is amended in the Parliament. So this is one that we have added to our basket. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. And our sex offender registry will be up and running. Caller, good night.
Good night, good night. Today's Mash-up Monday, Saeed.
Mash-up Monday.
Okay, let me start the ball rolling. That's sex offender thing. Is it, as they say, retrospective to retroactive in 1975? 45 years ago?
Well, my friend, this is a new...
I'm just asking, you know where I'm going with this.
I know. Go ahead, I will explain after. Go ahead. Right.
I want to talk about vaccine vagrancy. And I want to touch on the PNM press conference on COVID on Saturday. There was a young lady by the name of Dr. Trotman. Right? Dr. Trotman said they reviewed 341 deaths from June the 8th. Right? And she said those deaths, 341 of them was not fully vaccinated. Now, you know what that is? They got one dose, presumably one dose. So I wanted to ask a question, and you're using your show to ask a question loudly. Now, Dr. Trotman, I want you to answer in the next press briefing. If those 341 deaths, how does the vaccine efficacy that was given to those, the vaccine given to those 341, how was their efficacy compared to the manufacturer's efficacy? So you know where we're going down with that. We're supposed to be data collecting and all of that. We want to know if it's 64, 65, and if we're doing. If it is lesser than what the manufacturer is saying, I want to know what would the reason for it to be lesser or lower efficacy. You know where I'm going with that?
I understand.
Because there are other variables. And the third thing I want to have to answer, if they were given the two doses, how many deaths we would have most likely avoided, mitigate. And I wanted to tell us, from her vantage, she's a doctor and she in front the asking question, if we had started our vaccination rollout earlier clock, how much deaths we would have been avoided? How much of that 957 going to 1,000? How much of that would have been mitigated, right?
Well said.
I did 3 questions I want to ask her for now, because I have more. When she answers, I will come back on your program. And my partner for it is 6 inches and he can hold 4 digits. I got it.
Thank you, my friend. Well asked question. Well asked question. So viewers, we're touching back on the child sex offender registry. It's something Real Talk have been pushing for. The Sexual Offence Act, it have amended in Parliament. 2 laws coming, one for the officers, one for the citizens. And even though you have committed an act outside of Trinidad and Tobago, when you are sent back to Trinidad, your name, the act you have committed, it will be on the register. It will be on the register. So viewers, I want to thank the Attorney General again for pushing it forward and getting it amended in the Parliament. And I want to thank those of you who have supported me in this amendment. Let me tell you something. The females in Trinidad and Tobago now can rest assured that their predator, the one who committed the act, not just only facing jail, not just only facing jail and coming out, and that the public would not know who the individual is. Let me tell you something. Right around the world will understand who committed an act. So viewers, we did it again. So we're moving on now. Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago, that is the SAT, is further expanding its vaccination drive beyond its membership. The association, which has vaccinated 13,000 frontline workers to date, has now announced its invitation to all sectors to submit their vaccine requests to SAT. The sectors' SAT's invitation have been extended to include, but are not limited to, the following: food service sector, farmer market vendors, and the public service. So viewers, we took the opportunity, with news like this, we took the opportunity to contact the supermarket president, that is Mr. Rajiv Dipti. So we have him on the line. Good night, my friend.
Good night, Saeed. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, I do want to thank you for joining us. Can you give us an update on SAT vaccination drive thus far?
Sure, Saeed. I can tell you that we have really been able to vaccinate a lot of people within the industry as well as persons outside the industry. At this time, we are expanding it in a big way that we would like to include everyone. We are vaccinating all those citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that are accepting vaccinations at this point in time. We continue to operate at Center Point Mall. We also note to the general public that we are not charging for vaccination. All contributions and donations are welcomed. However, they are not a requisite for the vaccine. For accepting the vaccine, we bring human service to Trinidad and Tobago right now in a committed national effort to see Trinidad and Tobago return to a place of normalcy, to restore the national fabric. So at this time, over the next 4 to 6 weeks, we will continue to be giving full doses in a very big way, a minimum of 3,000 doses per day to vaccinate those from across multiple sectors, as well as those persons willing to accept the Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine. And so far, the response has been phenomenal. To get vaccinated, all persons have to do is send an email to vaccineinfo@satvhq.com, and they will receive further details to make an appointment by date and time. And so we will continue. We anticipate to vaccinate a further 100,000 persons at center point.
Mr. Rajiv, I do apologize for cutting. There are some distortion and we could hardly hear what you are saying, and I know the viewers would be, it would be a little distorted on their end. So we are going to call him back. We have some more questions for him. We are trying to get him back on the line. It's just too much interference. And we'll try to get him back on the line as soon as possible. So viewers, we have some nice show. We have a nice show packed for you tonight. So, Mr. Rajiv, are you there?
Yes, I can hear me properly.
Good. You are hearing me? Are you hearing me clearly?
Very much so.
The connection is better. Now, we understand what was taking place with the first question. Now, what is the process for making the vaccine request, and who could make the request?
As of right now, Saieed, any citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, any non-national person who can produce a form of ID accepted in Trinidad and Tobago and is willing to accept the Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine has the opportunity to get vaccinated at the SATT Mass Vac site at Center Point Mall in Chaguanas.
Okay.
How do they do this? The process is very simple. They email vaccineinfo@satvhq.com. The email is also available on our social media. And once they do this, we send them further details for them to complete the biodata for the registration. So these persons are able to make appointments by date, time, day of the week, and they will be able to get vaccinated through us. We're really hopeful. We have committed the largest single mass vaccination to the national effort.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now,
this is human service for us at this time.
So, could you just repeat the email address one more time?
Vaccineinfo, that is VACCINE @SATTHQ.com.
All right, so that will be the Supermarket Association headquarters.
Correct.
Now, could you give us a little update again, because since we were having a distortion on the connection, could you just give us a little update on the vaccination drive that you all are doing thus far and the success in it?
Sure, of course. We have something close to 120 staffers at the site. It's a very complex operation. It's nothing short of a clinical setting complete with medical equipment, a resuscitation room, ambulatory services. At this time, we are completing the second dosing for the second tranche of vaccines that we would have received. So by this Friday, we would have fully vaccinated 13,000 people. The ambition for our site is 100,000 more through our site in the next 2 months.
Wow.
So you're talking about a significant portion of the population through our vaccination site, and we've really committed to it. We want Trinidad and Tobago to get back to some level of normalcy. So we're prepared to work with the government and with the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to do whatever it is needs to be done right now. It's all hands on deck first. It's human service. There are good people in the background that don't always get recognized, and we recognize them as well. There are so many hands working, so many hands in prayer that are really, striving to see the success of this site, and we are really deeply, empathically connected to the good work that continues to happen.
Mr. Rajiv, I do want to thank you for joining us and giving us that brief update on our Real Talk with Saieed Ali show.
Thank you, Saieed. God bless Trinidad and Tobago. Take care.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, Friday on there, they have vaccinated a little over 13,000. the only single sector in Trinidad and Tobago to vaccinate a large group of people. Just imagine this, eh? The Supermarket Association did that. The Supermarket Association did that with everything functioning proper. The Minister of Health could not even organize a proper vaccination drive for the elderly in society. Just imagine that, eh? Just imagine that. Health in this country could not even execute a proper vaccination drive for the elderly people or the elderly folks in Trinidad and Tobago. And then people will say, Saeed, you're talking nonsense, you're bashing this one, you're bashing that one. We talk about the health ministry. We talk about the health ministry. I ain't afraid to talk about it because I'm living right here in Trinidad. And you all saw the effect when the health minister came out and said to us, once you're over 60, go down to the health center and you will be vaccinated. But when we reached the health center, it was only 50 persons could have been vaccinated. Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago executed a properly well orchestrated vaccine rollout drive. And they did it properly. That is the difference between the works of the government to the works of the private sector. Call good night.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
You have people saying that they're not taking this vaccine.
I heard that. I'm hearing that, yes.
But I'll tell you something. They're giving people vaccine without testing them too.
Correct.
And I want to know what is really going on because people make an appointment to get vaccinated in certain health facilities and they get in their appointment filled. And they're just calling these people and vaccinating these people without swabbing these people.
Correct. They should have done testing before vaccine.
Correct.
Yeah. To make sure that in case there is a death, we would know well what caused the death.
Yeah, whether they're positive or negative or need to be
exactly, yes.
Whatever. So that is a topic that I don't know if the health sector is looking at.
I understand what you're saying.
People just making appointments and getting a date and in 2-3 days time and going and taking vaccine.
Correct, correct. We don't know if this person's sick, if they have heart problem, if they have kidney problem, if they have liver problem. You're just making an appointment. Correct, correct.
Yeah. I know you haven't thought of it, but I thought of it.
I understand. Well, I thought of it too now because I was going to put that on a tune-it-up show on Tuesday night to turn up a little heat.
Yeah, but I couldn't wait till Tuesday now.
I understand what you're saying. But thank you for calling in. And I'm glad you bring it up. So now, when Dr. Trotman said about this large number of death, I guess they probably know what they're saying. And then again, they don't have to know what they're saying. Because you hear the vaccination drive rollout. Call a health center, make your appointment, go get your vaccine. But what about if you're suffering from heart? What about if you had a triple bypass? What about if you have one kidney working? What about if you are a diabetic? What would happen? What would happen? Proper discussion for a Monday night mashup. Caller, good night.
Said good night, how are you?
I'm okay, go right ahead.
Okay, here what happened today. I went to check one of my colleagues who works with me. His wife was taking sick and they took her to the Mountain Hospital for a stroke. They checked the lady and they sent her for about 14 days. And they suspected she for COVID.
They never treat her for having a stroke, you know. They bring her out from Cora Hospital and they send her home. But taking sick again, he took her to Arima. The doctors in Arima Hospital want to find out how they discharge this lady. And this lady, all the thing in she had was, she had a stroke in she had and she was going off already, going to die. So these people in the hospital, I don't know why they don't make up their mind what to do. You can't charge everybody for COVID to come into the hospital.
Okay, so let me ask you one or two questions.
Yeah.
She went in the Port of Spain hospital under a
Mount
stroke,
Hope,
under a
yes.
stroke condition.
Yeah.
Now, when she went there, did they test her for COVID-19?
I don't know what it did, but they sent her to Cora. And I owe my partner find new wife in Cora for COVID. And when they checked her in for COVID, there was a negative test.
Where did they test her and they got the negative test?
In Cora, after having she for 14 days up there.
Okay, so when she entered Mount Hope Hospital, so what you are saying is that they didn't test her there, is when she went Cora and she stayed 14 days, that is when they tested her.
Yeah, but she spent the time what is normally tells the quarantine. But these people mad. And they're coming on TV every day and giving you all kind of different story. They're treating patients wrongfully.
So it's a stroke patient that went to Cora, the COVID-19 facility?
Yeah.
Wow. But here what I want you to do. See if you could get the medical report from Mount Hope showing where they went and did the test.
Okay, well,
that is what you need. Then you would know why they sent her Cora. If they didn't do a test in Mount Hope and they sent her Cora, well, then you need to get a lawyer. But if they did a test in Mount Hope and it come up positive, that is the only way they will transfer her from Mount Hope to Cora. But if there is no test, that is a different battle.
Well, we're getting the postmortem do tomorrow. When we get the results and the death certificate, we go let you know it's what happening. Thank you so for your time.
Not a problem. You keep me up to date. I have a wonderful lawyer standing by. She likes to deal with high court matters. Nazima Ali Knox. Good night to you and your family, my dear. So viewers, we're rolling along tonight. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Talk of the town tonight. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that a laundromat is less crowded. It is less crowded location and business to open than a double stand. He was questioned by Naparima MP Rodney Charles in Parliament on what data leads the government to make that decision to open a laundromat. However, the PM stated that with laundromats, it was determined that a large number of persons could be serviced by a few persons.
Madam Speaker, the data is pretty straightforward. The government has taken the position that in managing the pandemic, we reduce the exposure of elements of the national community. With respect to laundromats, Madam Speaker, it was determined that a large number of people could be serviced by a few people acting in a situation which does not expose the public. And therefore, with health protocols being observed inside of a laundry, serving in the way that they served, that it could be opened without increasing the risk to the public.
All I have to say is that their suits is probably getting dirty or it is smelling sweaty. Unlike me, I have a suit for every day in the month. Unlike me. So when you say I have on this one tonight, look for it around the same time next month. Their suits getting dirty and they need it clean. That is the only thing I could think about. It's the only thing I could think about. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Saeed, I'm just curious. I am somebody who speak a good level of Arabic, right? And I just noticed that coming down to the end of the show, sometimes you say something there, but I don't have any idea what it is. So I'm not sure if it's a different dialect or something like that. I would just like to know. Please, thank you very much.
It is a mixture of 3 different languages. Not all the time it will be Arabic. Sometimes it will be Greek, Urdu. So that would answer your question. That's why you will get a different roll in the tongue. Like I said, I speak 6 different languages. Arabic, Urdu, Sanskrit, Hebrew, Greek, and English. So I hope that answers your question, my friend. There are people who have trained in 1, 2, and 3 different languages. I speak 6, my friend. So not because I am a Muslim, I will have to just learn Arabic. No. Arabic goes with Urdu. Urdu goes with Sanskrit. Hebrew goes with Greek. So this is something I want you to understand carefully. I want you to understand that. Not because I speak a different language at the end of my show, which means I am always talking Arabic. Somebody who talking Arabic, they would know Urdu. Because they did not follow Urdu. All they did is that they stick on Arabic. But any scholar will tell you Arabic goes with Urdu. And Urdu goes with Sanskrit. And Hebrew goes with Greek. It's a nice lineage to follow, you know. So moving along, viewers. Charles further questioned why family doubles business could not open as they are largely outside. Rowley added that there's nothing different or special about doubles.
Madam Speaker, repeating it over and over is not going to change it. We are talking about the numbers of people congregating and congregated in the exercise. And of all the meals in this country, there's nothing different and special about doubles. We shut down restauranting, Madam Speaker, because it involves a large number of people. We close restaurants of all descriptions. And I don't know what is his doubles problem. And Madam Speaker, at the first opportunity that it appears to us that these things can be done without significantly increasing the risk to people, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will act as we are acting now.
All right. So viewers, that is what he said about doubles. But I have something to draw to you. The PM further called on the opposition to stop trying to give the impression that certain persons were disadvantaged while others were being favored.
Madam Speaker, the government looks at all opportunities to open the economy. So I am not in a position to differentiate between this bakery and that bakery, this fried and that unfried, Madam Speaker. And the advice that we use on these matters is the whole body of data, looking at the whole population, and as we use section by section, we expect, Madam Speaker, that some sections will be in and some will be coming in. And Madam Speaker, all I ask my colleagues is to stop trying to differentiate in such a way as to give the impression that certain people are being disadvantaged inappropriately while others are being favored. That is not true, Madam Speaker. I would love tomorrow to open the entire country, as your irresponsible leader is asking me to do, as though we are not in a pandemic. But it is because we are in a pandemic, and I have the responsibility of making the call, Madam Speaker, that I will make the call to protect every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago according to the advice that I get.
Call a good night.
Good night, Saieed again. Inside, mash up Monday again. Laundromats are open. You know, long time people used to go in the river and wash their clothes.
Yes.
So why you open the river? Because a lot of people don't have no water again home to wash clothes, so they could go by the river and use it.
I understand.
All right. We talk about being a vaccine vagrant. I hear our Prime Minister on a press conference, I think 2 or 3 days ago, where he benchmarking us with Haiti. You remember that? Haiti is the only country that has not vaccinated everybody. And that man, the PIP man, the vaccine vagrant man, benchmarking we with Haiti. Haiti is vaccine last and we second to last. That is why we in this position, because the CARICOM people say it was a sigh of relief. They didn't want a chairman of CARICOM. Anytime he come to chair meeting, they say, look, the vaccine vagrant coming. They didn't want that at all. He's really leading us. You know where a vagrant usually go? He jump pillar to post. That is why my prime minister can't sleep in the night, waking out kind of 3 o'clock and things. That is one of the demeanors. That is one of his vagrant characteristics. The other thing is, when you are vagrant, there's only one place you can lead us, you know. Guess where? To the dump. And that is where we economy go into the dump. I go and have a nice day.
Thank you, my friend. Now, our Prime Minister said, Rowley added, that there is nothing different or special about doubles. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When you hear the doubles man or his assistant mention to the individuals who is standing around him that come to buy doubles, all they have to do is put them in an order. Put them in an order. Stand 3 feet apart and form a line. And I have seen many doubles place with lines properly well organized. Because the doubles man will tell you, if you do not join the line, you will not be served. No mass, no service. As one example. Number 2, in the grocery. When you go into a grocery, we talk, he mentioned about large gatherings. I just want to touch on some points so you would understand what I am talking about. In the grocery, there is no lines. There is no lines in the grocery. When you go inside a grocery, let me tell you something, people passing and jamming you. Trolley bouncing trolleys. I understand the Supermarket Association tried their best to control crowd gathering in the grocery. They tried their best. When you go to the market on Sunday, or when you go to a wholesale market, what do you have? You have a large gathering of crowds. Is it properly managed? Who is to say yes? Who is to say no? Because we see with our own eyes. Laundromat is that you drop your clothes, you collect a date and you move. So while you're cleaning your clothes, for those who have suits and drop it weekly or monthly to clean, we have the doubles assistant, single parents. We have the doubles man who maintains a family, who employ peoples, and also have a loan to pay. And I am definitely sure those doubles people who were laid off, they did not get a grant. I am definitely sure about that. So we have the small man on a small silver platter suffering for an income. Understand what I'm saying? How many laundromats are there in Trinidad? Do they employ 1,000 people? But we have a vast amount of people in the small business as doubles, with your double shed or with your doubles van or however. They have a large amount, a large scale employment. And I am definitely sure that those people who work in the double sector did not receive a grant. I am definitely sure about that. Caller, good night.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you, Brother Saeed?
I'm okay. Go right ahead. You're live on Real
Okay.
Talk.
All right. Listen, I see just now you was showing the photos of the supermarket and the people lining up for vaccine. And one of the main things that people is not talking about is the religious side. From a different religion, nobody never bring up the talk about open up the place of worship. You understand what I mean? And all about you seeing people who are jamming, as you mentioned as well. Number one is the place of worship. And they could open up the place for the place of worship and keep the 6 feet distance and let the people wear their masks. And whosoever wearing the mask, then they'll deal with them. So we like that if you could take up this matter concerning place of worship, because everybody's showing and talking about this and that and that. And the main thing is to keep the connection with the Creator. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So we're going back. Look at it. You open a business that employs a small percentage of the population. A small percentage. How many laundromats are there in Trinidad and Tobago? But you shut down a small business where the average man could have employed people on a large-scale employment. Caller, good night.
Very, very good evening to you, Said.
To you, my friend.
Mr. Said. Isn't that the same Prime Minister who had encouraged everybody to come to Tobago? That is mass gathering. That has been very irresponsible. That was very irresponsible of him. Look what happened after that. And now he's talking about doubles. 50,000 people in Tobago and it overflowing. That is the place to be. Well, people here, what's going on? The place to be is by the man. And he say he know what's so special about doubles. Well, I don't know what's so special about Sharon Oliveth.
Now, well, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there at all. Viewers of Real Talk, I want to apologize on behalf of the caller. Keep it straight when you're calling. So I just want to let you understand that. How many laundromats are there in Trinidad? Not much. How many people are being employed in the double business? A large scale of people. A large scale. All these business places, I want to show you something. All these business places that's selling food, where is the food being prepped? In the business place or out of the business place? If it is out of the business place, is Health Department of Trinidad and Tobago visiting that kitchen very often? Or if it is in the business place, is Health visiting these business places to make sure that there is the public health guidelines in place? I'm asking questions. What's so important about doubles? Well, I'm making it important tonight. I am making it important. Somebody's suit getting dirty. Somebody's suit sweaty that it need cleaning. While people suffering, the small average man suffering, there is no help for them. None. Anybody working in the doubles industry, if you all get a grant, call in. If you didn't get a grant, call in. I am definitely sure they ain't got a grant. But you want to bring down the doubles. You want to bring down thousands of people that are employed in doubles. Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith have confirmed that a probe has been launched into allegation that a sitting member of parliament facilitated a tax exemption for $1 million for a member of public to buy a luxury vehicle. On Saturday, Prime Minister Dr. Rowley revealed that the allegations are being investigated by the police.
That car matter you're talking about, you know how it arose? It arose because there's an allegation, which is now the subject of a police investigation, of a member of parliament facilitating that same exemption for a member of the public to buy a car with an exemption of $1 million. Did you hear me? A member of parliament under police investigation for facilitating a member of the public getting a vehicle and escaping $1 million in exemption. That came up in the parliament. I didn't say an editorial on that. It's police business, so I don't talk about it. We don't even talk to the member of parliament about it. Let the police do their work. Let the law take its course. But his colleagues who know that, coming to ask me about my car, that I could give the police a ride in.
Now viewers, police source also confirmed that there was a probe underway which involved different arms of the police white-collar crime unit. So I want to congratulate the Commissioner of Police for executing such investigations into white-collar crimes especially. So we're moving along. Caller, good night.
Good night, Said.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Yes, I want to let the Prime Minister know what is so special and what is so important about them. The only breakfast, lunch, or dinner that a poor man, an average man, could afford to buy that is on a reasonable price. So by you stopping these people, you're actually making a lot of people hungry in this country because nothing is cheap except doubles in this country.
Thank you, my friend. You see, it goes back to the supermarket and the groceries. There is no crowd control. None. But you're condemning doubles. Don't do that. Trinidad is about steel pan, calypso, doubles. Doubles. Let me tell you something. Families in Trinidad just freeze doubles and send it all over the world. All over the world. So when you say there's nothing special about doubles, let me tell you something. You're condemning a snack or a food that goes right around the world. That is what you're doing. That is what you're doing. So viewers, switching gears now, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have dismissed concerns raised about the purchase of luxury vehicles by two government ministers during the pandemic. Hey, I have a mashup for you, you know. This after Rudal Munilal, my mistake, MP Rudal Munilal raised the issue of tax exemption on cars for two ministers, saying the timing was not best. In response, Rowley stated that tax exemption is part of the terms and engagements of thousands of persons at different levels, and no one has the authority to interfere with it.
The exemption is part of the terms of engagement of thousands, probably thousands of people. Different people have different levels of exemptions. There are 3 taxes that apply to motor vehicles. Some people get 1 off, some people get 2 off, some people get 3 off, depending on your terms of engagement. That is not a popular arrangement for some people, but those are the facts. But when I said I'd look at it, I did look at it, and I sought some legal advice, it being people's terms of engagement. The legal advice was that these are people's terms of engagement and you have no authority to interfere with it.
Rowley noted that he has been Prime Minister for 6 years and did not run a cabinet of corrupted persons, but was disturbed by those who want to control what others do with their money they earn.
I've been Prime Minister of this country for 6 years. I expect to be Prime Minister for a while longer. And one day I will not be the Prime Minister of this country. And the one thing I want to be able to say to the country when I leave this job is that I did not run a cabinet of corrupt people who sought to steal government money for their benefit. After 6 years, I'm on that track. And when it's ended, I hope to be able to say that to you. And it really galls me when persons who can't say that come in to take an issue about an exemption that is part of your terms and what you do with the money you earn.
I want Dolly to understand something. I will show you where I'm going with all these videos. You just tell yourself, I just only bash PNM. But I will show you something tonight. Rowley also added that he accepted the terms of his engagement, and if it disturbs some people, he is sorry.
I could tell the country, no, I bought a vehicle because I drive myself. And as part of the terms of engagement for the job I do 24 hours a day, I accept the terms of my engagement. And if it displeases some people, I'm sorry. But I don't think it is fair for somebody to tell me what to do with what I earn when you have no interest in talking to those who have stolen public money. And you have no interest in that.
Kola, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, I call in to touch on 3 points there. That double thing, right? First of all, I want to understand something, right? We have plenty groceries and gas stations, right? Familiarized in the West and all kind of things. That buying the doubles, buying the roti from the same said roti shop side, and they're selling it for double the price side. And people go in there and they're lining up outside the gas station side, outside the grocery, all inside the grocery, to buy the same food.
Correct.
So why it is they just don't open the place and people go back out to work? I don't understand it. So is it? It's good for a certain population, a certain class of people to make all the money, while the rest of the country had to sit down home and do what? Watch Netflix? Side, between me and you, Side, I think to myself, and I think that plenty of this country realizing that this government against a certain race of people aside, I just thinking so. Now, my second point is that last week I was looking at, I believe it was Thursday or Friday, I see Ansel Roger come on the news and was talking a pack of rubbish about if now is the time and if Trinidad people then had enough and all kind of thing. I have a message for Ansel Roger. Nothing bad or nothing. Mr. Roger, whichever rock you come out from, go back on that now. But because of you and your people and your union, Petrochin, all that help to put Pete Rowley where he is. And all that help to get Petrochin closed down. So they don't come out now and ask the people if enough is enough and all kind of thing, and if we ain't ready to fight and all kind of thing. Because all your facility demand to be where he is right now, side. And that is a fact.
Thank you, my friend.
Side.
So we're going back to the PM. Rowley further stated that while he wonders what will happen to the country, some alleged plunder that the public purse. Now, he claims, give me a break.
And annoying me in the intervening period. You know what time I get up in the morning? I go to bed between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and I get up at daybreak. And when I get up nervous many times. Because what's going to happen to us as a people today? And all of a sudden they're concerned about debt in the country. They're concerned about who's hungry. They're concerned about who's starving. They're concerned about... Just give me a break. Thank you very much.
You see, I got to tell you, PM, once you accepted your portfolio as the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, there is no break. There is no break. You see, I understand 3.5 years back that when I come on television and I decided to go into media, I know 1, 2 o'clock in the morning I will get phone calls and I had to get off my bed because I understand this is the portfolio I have chosen. So there is no break in that. No break in that. There are certain sectors. Let me tell you something, if they take a break, you know what happening? If Wassa take a break, we're going on with Trinidad and Tobago. If TNTech take a break, what happening? If the health sector take a break, what happening? If police decide now, you know what? We ain't going to patrol no vehicle. We ain't going to patrol no gang area. What's going to happen? If they decide to rock back and take a break, what's going to take place? We under problems. So you have to understand now, it's Mashup Monday tonight, you have to understand, as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, there is no break. You want a break? Not a problem. There is something that they call is a resignation letter. Take a break. Take a break. While I'm hitting you hard for the doubles on one side, and all the UNC supporters, good side, give them. And while they're here bashing them now for the luxury vehicles that they're bashing the MP on, exemption, yes side, give them a break. Pop them to slide there for me. Run the next one also. That is one document. That's the second one. Now viewers, those two documents, everybody bashing, all the UNC supporters bashing the PNM administration, 2 ministers from the PNM side, they're bashing them. Now is the wrong time to buy a vehicle. You see those two documents you just see? 2 MP officials from the UNC purchased high-end vehicle in April month. What do you have to say now? What do you have to say now? Tonight, I will support the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley, for telling his MPs and telling the population, when you work, what you want to do with your money is your business. If the 2 MP, one is Stuart Young, the Minister of Energy present, and one is Terence Singh, I believe, purchased a Toyota Prado. Those 2 MPs did what they wanted to do with their money. It became a talk of the town for Trinidad and Tobago that you bash the 2 MPs and them for purchasing vehicle under the present pandemic. Let me tell you something. The 2 pictures, the 2 documents I show you just now on TV, it's 2 documents from UNC MPs who purchased high-end vehicle in the month of April. In what? In the pandemic. Come back to me, Shane. In the pandemic, in the month of April. Let me tell you something. I have it. I think I can show it on TV. Let me tell you something. As a man, when I come on my show, give jackets. So if the public didn't know, about the two MPs on the opposition side purchased high-end vehicles in the month of April, being under the pandemic. Tonight, all you know, because I've shown already two documents there, I just blur the writings for security reasons. Yes, that is mash up the PNM. I just call out the UNC, and when time to get hammer, you will get it. Because IMP is IMP. It doesn't matter if you're black or you're white. It doesn't matter the color you're here or the texture you're here. Our MP is our MP. MP means member of parliament and minister for parliament. Let's talk now. All of us want to talk, oh, Saieed, you're bashing PNM. We're glad for you. Well, tonight the UNC get it. I just give Jackie jackets, you know. Because the writing is the writing. So tonight, those of you who mashing up Stuart Young, and those of you who mashing up DL Singh, there's two on the opposition to match up. Who purchased high-end vehicle in what? In a pandemic. When? April 2021. If I didn't have the documents, I could have never flashed in front of you for you to see it. I'm going to tell you something. You see these pockets here in my jacket? The Prime Minister complaining about going to sleep, what time? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and getting about early. Know what your portfolio is. And know the time that your portfolio carrying. I have a large-scale portfolio. Media personnel, spiritual consultant, real estate businessman, Real Talk security, and intelligence unit. Let's talk now. Let's talk now. I have a large scale. My hours will be 16, 17 hours a day. And I understand that. And I accept that. And you want to tell the population, I'm going to sleep 2 o'clock and I'm getting up 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. It comes with the portfolio. That's how I understood mine. You understood yours. And I want you to understand it. Because the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago is expecting a better Prime Minister to govern our country. So viewers, that is something for you to understand. Mariam Abdul Richards. We out of time? Look how fast the time runs. So viewers, nevertheless, I just wanted you to understand that. A level on both sides of the board. This is Saieed, this is Real Talk. Alaba il kudurbaanna sabakadi laba unte lakitrina. When Moses was called, Moses never knew he was in the wilderness to go against Pharaoh, who raised him with riches around him. He didn't pick side. He did what God told him to do, and he was victorious in the end. You think I pick inside? No. So viewers, until we meet again, Turn It Up Tuesday. Look out for that from 7 to 8 on Synergy Television.